Welcome to the MCNet Christian Leadership Institute, a unique approach to equipping the next generation of Christian leaders. CLI is an initiative of the International Ministry Coaching Network and implements a competency-based mentorship for ministerial training. It provides a program for pastors and church leaders to train their leadership teams. This podcast series is designed to equip you in how to use the materials and implement this training within your church or organization.
Well, last time on 5.4 we were looking at the importance of change as it relates to our organizations and the ministries that God has put us in responsibility and made us stewards of. And this time we're looking at strategic planning.
And I think sometimes people maybe look down at a process like planning.
Right. They're not trusting the Holy Spirit enough, or we over-spiritualize it maybe.
Yeah, but I think maybe we should just say that our philosophy on this is we make our plans, God guides our steps.
Exactly.
And so we're not taking God out of the process.
Exactly.
We just want to be clear about that.
It seems like God's a bit of a planner.
Yeah, there are indications that he might be.
Maybe just a little bit of it. So it's not necessarily bad, it's just if you do it apart from him or recognize that, no, I'm reliant on the Lord as I make my plans.
Yeah, and recognizing the resources that you have as a person, as an organization, and how do you use those resources?
Right.
So that's part of this strategic planning.
Exactly.
piece.
And it involves also like casting vision and setting realistic goals, and then how do we receive those? So all that's part of this particular competency, and it's not a one-time event. It's ongoing, and so as you learn these tools and you implement them, you'll use them over and over again in your ministry, and so that your organization will fulfill this purpose. That's all kind of in generally what this particular competency on strategic planning is really all about. Now, the assessments that we do for this particular one also include a bunch of different questions, again, separated according to theoretical, easy for me to say.
Yeah,
theoretical
and practical.
And practical, exactly. And so we look at different questions, right, about goal setting and different aspects of this.
Right. So the questions have to do with what experience and skills does the candidate have, or do you have, and have you used these things? What has been your experience? We take that into account.
Exactly.
But for a lot of people, we do also know that getting into a strategic planning process, unless they've been exposed to it, probably haven't done it.
Yeah, so the questions will then help open up discussion. And like a lot of these assessments, they're really kind of a good reason, or maybe even an excuse, to have a discussion with your mentor, or for you as a mentor to not just look at the numbers of the final results. That's not the most important part of the assessment. It's really a tool for a discussion, a tool to help lead us and lead where, according to certain principles that we're trying to address within this certain competency.
If you are interested in using this training program to develop leaders within your church or organization, click on the link in the description or go to our website, mcnetcli.org/contact. This competency mentorship is being used by both young as well as seasoned leaders. The program is currently available in English, Spanish, and Russian. By registering, you will have access to all our materials through the CLI online platform, providing you all the materials necessary to equip your leaders. Upon completion of the program, each candidate will earn an International MCNet Leadership Certificate. If you would prefer to download the materials of individual competencies, go to icmcanada.org/MCNetCLI.
Now the reading is this one, Doug. We come back to our OPG, we call, or Organizational Planning Guide.
Yeah, we wrote this I don't know, a little while ago.
Yeah, years. I can't remember actually.
We called the
Thanks for bringing that up, Doug.
I think when we first wrote it, we were fancy and we called it a matrix.
Oh, there you go.
But it's not. It's an organizational planning guide.
It kind of has 4 different components to it, doesn't it?
That's right. It has kind of 4 components or 4 stages.
4 stages.
Of
that
planning.
might be a better word. Yeah.
And in the first stage, we deal with the current reality of the organization,
right.
Doing an assessment of what we have, where we've been,
right,
and what our values are, what everything about the organization that we can know today.
And using some of the very tools we've been talking about the last few sessions.
Yeah, they're all incorporated into this. And then the second stage is, knowing what we know about our current reality, what are some realistic goals to set?
Exactly.
Right? And we talk, we analyze, and we
look at, are there ministry activities that you're doing that you maybe shouldn't be doing?
Yeah.
Are there ministry activities that need to be improved? And so these are some of the questions that get to the aspect of the wineskin. And then the third stage in this organizational planning guide is making looking at the objectives, looking at immediate ones, short term, long term. We need all that within a multi-year framework. And then what are the markers along the way that we're reaching some of those objectives? And then we assign who's going to make this change. I mean, not
who's
just
going to do what. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's very practical. And then finally, it completes with the implementation.
Yeah. So the implementation is divided into how do you communicate your plan with the leadership team? What is your schedule? Right. For progressing through the things that you're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
And then we build into it also a review.
Right.
So you're looking for certain markers along the way. So we make a plan over the next year. We can kind of determine whether we're making that, and then when do we update this plan?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like you said earlier, that it's an ongoing process. So we built that into the organizational planning guide.
Well, I guess on the learning activities, Doug, they kind of follow up with the readings. We look at a vision assessment that we've done. We have an assessment that has multiple questions that really answers the question, what is vision? And what is your understanding of vision? And does your vision need to be changed or adapted or renewed?
And is the vision, is it realistic? That's one of the things we always look at.
Using what we were talking about in our readings about the OPG, the Organizational Planning Guide, to really then have you develop a case study, unless you can practically apply this in your own church right now, and that's not always the case, but if you can't use your own ministry, maybe at least develop a case study and work through this 4-day, 4-session, 4-stage planning process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that'd be a very helpful thing to do. And I think once you've used it, it kind of sets a mindset of how to do it.
Hopefully this will help you in your leadership teams. It'll help you as you lead other teams and maybe with those that you're mentoring. So hopefully you take it, enjoy it, and look forward to seeing you next time when we're going to be talking about 5.6, which is talking, again, very applicable now, the resources. How do we evaluate what the resources are going to be to implement this change that's going to renew our vision? That's kind of where we're going. So hope you'll be able to join us.
To learn more about this MCNet leadership training program and how you can implement it with your leaders, download the free orientation guide at MCNetCLI.org. In order to register in the program, go to MCNetCLI.org/contact, or to purchase and download the CLI materials, go to icmcanada.org/MCNetCLI.